Suppose a Muslim woman applies for a customer service position at a retail store. Despite her qualifications and experience, during the interview, the hiring manager asks her if she would be comfortable removing her hijab while working, citing the store's policy against employees wearing any kind of head coverings. The manager implies that the failure to comply with this policy would result in the applicant not being considered for the job. This constitutes discrimination based on religion because the employer is imposing the requirement that directly conflicts with applicants' religious beliefs and practices. Refusal to accommodate with the religious attire effectively bars her from equal employment opportunities solely based on her faith. Discrimination based on religion is not only ethically wrong but also illegal under the human rights legislation, including the Ontario Human Rights Code. Canada is a multicultural society that values diversity and inclusion. Prohibiting discrimination based on religious ensures that the individual has the right to practice their faith freely without facing barriers in employment or other aspects of life. It fosters a society where everyone can contribute and participate fully, regardless of their religious beliefs. Suppose a highly skilled software engineer who is deaf applies for a position at a technology company. Despite meeting all the qualifications and demonstrating exceptional competence during the interview process, the company refuses to hire him solely because of his disability. This constitutes discrimination based on disability because the decision is made not on the individual's ability to perform the job, but on assumptions or biases related to his disability. While the Ontario Human Rights Code prohibits discrimination against disability, there may be circumstances where an employer could justify such discrimination if the nature of the job genuinely requires specific abilities that the disabled individual cannot fulfill, even with the reasonable accommodations. For example, if the job position involves frequent and critical communication over the phone and alternative accommodations like text based communication or sign language is not feasible or would compromise the job's essential functions, the employer might be able to justify their decision on not to hiring the deaf applicant. However, such justifications must be based on legitimate occupational requirements and not on just stereotypes. When an employer asks about an applicant's original place of origin before offering them for a job, they violate the protected ground of discrimination based on ancestry or place of origin. For example, consider a scenario where a qualified candidate of an ancient community applies for a marketing position. During the interview, employer asks, "Where are you from originally?" solely based on the candidate's appearance. This question implies bias and discrimination based on the candidate's ethnicity. Instead of asking about original place of origin, the employer should focus on questions directly related to job requirements and the applicant's qualifications. For example, they could ask about candidates' relevant experience or skills about the role. In Ontario, such questions are prohibited under the Ontario Human Rights Code to ensure fair treatment and prevent discrimination in the hiring process. Asking about an applicant's original place of origin can be can lead to stereotypes and lead to unfair treatment and create barriers to the employment of individuals from a particular diverse background. The law aims to promote equal opportunities and combat systematic discrimination based on any ancestry or place of origin. In Ontario, if a person is not hired only because of the reason that they have tattoos can potentially be considered the violation of human Ontario Human Rights Code if the decision is based on discrimination against the protected ground. While having several tattoos itself is not a protected ground under the code, discrimination based on personal characteristics associated with the tattoos, such as race, ethnicity, religion, or disability, should be unlawful. For example, if an employer refuses to hire someone with tattoos only because they associate the tattoos with a particular social group or ethnic group, it would be discrimination based on race or ethnicity. Similarly, if the decision not to hire is based on the tattoos related to religious beliefs, it would constitute discrimination based on religion. However, if an employer has legitimate business reasons for their tattoo policy, such as maintaining a professional image in the client facing roles, for the policy cons- and applies for the policy consistently to all the employees regardless of protected characteristics, it may not be considered a violation of human rights code. Overall, the law aims to balance the right of individuals to express themselves through tattoos with the need to prevent discrimination based on protected grounds.